A quiet hope is spreading across America. For months, families have felt the squeeze as prices for everyday items climbed higher. But now, the tide may be turning. Recent signs suggest inflation is finally slowing down. This isn't just a number, it's a lifeline for millions. Gas and groceries may not spike as sharply, and small businesses can plan with more certainty. Retirees on fixed incomes can breathe a little easier. The Federal Reserve's efforts to cool the economy are starting to show results. The journey isn't over, but the first steps toward relief are visible. Stable prices could boost consumer confidence and help businesses grow. When people feel secure, they spend and invest, fueling a cycle of positive momentum. The slowdown in inflation is the crucial first step toward recovery. After a long struggle, Americans finally see a glimmer of optimism. The nation is ready for a break from relentless economic pressure. What people believe about the future shapes the economy. A recent New York Fed survey shows Americans now expect inflation to ease. Expectations for gas prices have dropped, offering relief to commuters and businesses. People also feel less anxious about rent, medical care, and college costs. But grocery prices remain a stubborn worry. Food inflation expectations have actually risen. This highlights that not all price pressures are easing equally. The weekly supermarket trip is still a source of stress for many families. The path to stability isn't straight. Some costs are improving, others lag behind. Still, the overall drop in inflation fears is a major win. It signals growing trust that things are coming under control. When consumers believe in stability, it helps the economy heal. Relief at the gas pump and in rent is real, even if food costs still sting. The recovery is uneven, but optimism is spreading. Americans are starting to believe the worst may be behind them. That belief is a powerful force for economic recovery. In global trade, words matter as much as actions. Recently, former President Trump softened his tough tariff stance. He backed away from sweeping new tariffs, opening a 90-day window for negotiations. This pause signaled a move toward diplomacy, not confrontation. Businesses fearing higher costs suddenly saw hope for stability. The threat of tariffs had fueled inflation worries for families and companies alike. Trump's pivot, even if temporary, eased anxiety and calmed markets. The administration's new approach aimed to keep inflation trending down. Negotiation replaced escalation, reducing economic jitters. This calculated pause gave everyone a chance to breathe. For now, the risk of a trade war and another inflation spike has faded. As tariff threats faded, relief swept through the economy. Businesses regained short-term confidence, no longer bracing for sudden cost hikes. Trade policy uncertainty had stalled investments and hiring. The administration's pause reduced this drag, stabilizing markets. Families too felt reassured. Fears of higher prices on everyday goods eased. The positive shift reinforced growing optimism about inflation. Even Wall Street noticed the volatility index dropped as anxiety subsided. A more stable environment emerged, essential for long-term growth. Avoiding a trade war was a win for everyone, from boardrooms to households. The economy could finally catch its breath. The pause brought hope that stability might last. Despite good news, no one is declaring victory yet. The economic environment remains fragile, with caution in the air. The upcoming election brings uncertainty. Policies could shift quickly. The Federal Reserve has paused rate changes, waiting for clarity. Trade negotiations with China and India are ongoing, outcomes uncertain. A breakdown could bring tariffs roaring back, disrupting industries. Automakers and other sectors are watching talks closely. The threat of disruption hasn't vanished, it's just postponed. Still, the recent slowdown in inflation and trade tensions offers hope. Americans can finally breathe, but the future is still uncertain. The outlook is more hopeful, but the story isn't over. The nation waits, hoping this calm is the start of real recovery. For now, cautious optimism prevails.